we'll see here. I'll pop out chat and I'll close the page, or you can leave that up, I guess.
Yeah, I seem to have a decent connection here, so I can
All right.
leave it up. All right, it looks like we're
We're live.
live,
Okie
and
dokie.
and you got your on air sign on, so that's how
Yep.
we know.
That is
That's
how
how
we
we know
know.
we're live.
Exactly. So let's see if maybe my connection is going to be a bit improved. It's
Yeah,
a little.
usually it's me with the shitty connection, and now it's Eric. So,
Yep. Yeah, that's what happens when a good company that you've been using gets bought out by another company and they just kind of start doing random maintenance and work and stuff like that.
God, isn't that the way with like
Yeah.
every corporate buyout? Like, hey, let's make it shittier, and
Yeah.
somehow they make more money off of that.
Well, it's really annoying because like yeah, it's just like anything, any business or whatever. A new manager or regional comes in and they want to show that they're doing something, so they just do something, and usually that something doesn't have any real bearing. It's not like
Yeah,
they're thoughtful about it or something like, oh, we're going to make things better. No, they just like, oh, they're not going to like me if I'm not actually making a difference.
yeah. Well, speaking of that, I mean, because corporations and the government really are kind of like one and the same. Um, we thought we would talk about government accountability because it came up last week, and we thought, you know what, that just needs a whole episode of its own.
Yep.
Because and I mean it's a very timely thing too, because the whole creation of Doge, the government efficiency and so on, it raises a lot of questions about, well, what is efficiency, and how do you create a metric for that that's transparent and verifiable, because that hasn't
Yeah.
been done yet. You
Well,
know,
no, that would be because even if you're internally, you should have some kind of metric to know what to
right.
do and whether what you're doing is doing something. You
Yeah.
know, I
I
mean,
mean, it is
I'm
a facade like for corruption, just like most things in the government.
it's hard, only time will tell. Like it's really hard to say at this point.
Hmm.
But I mean, I can say what the intent is laudable, right? There is definitely a lot of waste and stuff like that, and I guess if they can figure that out and improve that a little bit, that's something. But yeah, the thing is, all organizations within the government have no accountability. Yeah, okay, you can not vote them for them the next time around, I guess, but then there's a lot of bureaucrats that you don't vote for. They're just appointed or hired and stuff like that. And what do
Right.
you do about that?
Well, that's one thing that I think we started to touch on last week, is that voting is a nice thing to have, but it's kind of the only thing, and it's really antiquated because it really hails from a time when the speed of information was like by horse or pigeon or
Yeah.
something, and now with the speed of information like way outpacing the voting cycle and the whole rigmarole that goes with it, uh, there's really no accountability in the moment for politicians, and then they skirt by because they just count on people forgetting their fuck ups, you know?
Media doesn't stick on them. Like
Right.
the media too forgets essentially. Like they just move on to whatever the next thing is. So it's like, no, no. Yeah. And there's no consequences for failure in government.
Yeah.
Oh, my internet is a little bit off. So hopefully everything's fine.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they basically in general business, if you're operating a business, let's rest something, right? Um, who
So,
make decisions, and those decisions Uh-oh.
Yeah, I might be losing you.
Oh, your thing's also something's going on here.
I'll close YouTube as well, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, that's odd.
Um, fuck, internet, man. Um, okay, so I couldn't quite hear all of what you were saying. Um, are, oh, you are gone. Uh-oh. Well, I guess that was a short episode. I don't know if I'm still live because Eric was hosting. Hmm. Hello? Is anybody out there? Probably not. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what to do in this situation, so I'm probably gonna hop off and yeah, we'll just have to see if we can start it over. Wait a minute. Two participants. He might be coming back.
Oh, okay. I guess we're okay. That's odd. It just closed.
Yeah, like you
What?
were you were literally gone there, so I don't know if we're actually still live.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's see. Actually, it'll streaming, so I think we're okay.
Okay.
I guess hopefully see what happened there.
Yeah. Huh. Well, we're not getting any comments, so that makes me think like maybe we're not maybe we're not live anymore. Uh, I will look for myself. Oh yeah, we're still there. Oh, you're gone again. Oh boy.
Uh, Maybe we're
Yeah,
back again.
yeah. You disappeared once again.
Just well, so did you. It just the whole closed.
mm,
See what's going on. Oh, wait. Hmm.
I wish we could show that picture of a broken kitchen sink while we're
Yeah, yeah, I know.
experiencing technical difficulties.
So I don't know what's going on. It was like, yeah. Well, we'll see if we're still streaming. I hope we are. Um, Seems stable-ish now. Well, I guess I'll just go back into what I was talking about
Yeah.
before. Um, so like if you are running a business like a restaurant, all right, and you make decisions for that restaurant, whatever your regular business operations. And if you make good decisions, you are rewarded, right? You make money. You grow. Um, if you make bad decisions, well, you're punished in law. Like you lose money, you probably end up closing. You have to lay people off, that whatever,
Mhm.
downsizing or something like that. That's the consequence. And if you do something illegal, then you are punished legally for that. Well, if it's fraud or whatever, you're what there's a whole bunch of things you could be doing, even as a restaurant owner, bad food or something like that, and then you suffer the consequences for that. Whereas people in government rarely suffer anything. Like they're blowing billions of dollars on things, and maybe it just doesn't work, or they just abandon it, and or things get worse, and they just they still have their job. Like, oh yeah, whatever. And oh, what do you? By the way, you get a cost of living raise and a bonus, and
Yeah.
like, oh, and you have a pension too. Like, what the hell?
Right.
How is that? How is that even a real thing? How can anybody be like accept that as being like a good thing? I think there
Right.
should be
Well, it's a
consequences.
yeah, it's a parallel with CEOs, like
Mhm.
although at least like CEOs tend to like I don't know, take a little bit too much of the blame sometimes. Like, like if a company is doing really shitty, they just get a new CEO in there. Um,
Yeah.
so like that can go one of two ways. I know where you work had kind of like a happy ending to that scenario, but oftentimes like with Wendy's, for instance, like Dave Thomas died and somebody new comes in and all of a sudden the burgers are shrinking
Yeah. Yep.
and the prices are going up at the same time. So like,
People that like like $1.50, I'm gonna kill you.
I just heard $1.50, I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, well,
With
yeah, the me said to his,
probably a bad time to tell jokes when it's all choppy.
I know, yeah. No, no, it's not a joke. It's a statement that he made. That he's like, but if he left, who's to say the next CEO is not going to make some changes? And now we'll see the hot dog be $2 or $3 or something.
Yeah.
You know,
You shouldn't screw ooh, 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 with the timeline.
yeah, exactly. But that's the thing. Here at all. I mean, there's a lot of people who should be going to prison for things they've done. Even you've got people connected with the military, things the CIA has done that like if I did them, I would go to prison for multiple life sentences. But yet apparently everybody's there is like, oh, they still got a job. They're just like, I don't know, that just happened. Oopsie, you know,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
millions of people died. We don't know.
I mean, so what would be a way around that I mean, the people unfortunately actually have no power. Like in a situation like this where the people could collectively acknowledge a problem like that, have absolutely no power whatsoever over the government to be like, hey,
Well, they
let's implement something new here. No, no, no. That would have to go through Congress and then the House and Senate, and then the president has to sign off on it and blah, blah, blah. And all this stuff that's like, oh, this is going to make our jobs less cushy. Well, we're not going to vote for that. Like they're
of course, yeah.
all self-serving, and
Mm-hmm.
because there's no accountability, they can be. So why wouldn't they be? You know?
Also, you have maybe we've got a little okay. I mean, insider trading is another thing that happens
Mm-hmm.
all the time in government.
Mm-hmm.
But if I did like market insider trading,
Right. Right.
like what about in Congress? you know?
Yeah. Like they do better in the stock market than like actual like CEOs and stuff like that. Like so, and obviously it's because they're pulling the strings on like not just how one business operates, but how the whole network of businesses operate, how the economy on the whole operates. And because the US dollar is basically currently the top standing currency in the world, they even have an effect on how the global economy is working. So, of course,
Yep.
you can't have better insider trading tips than that.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Oh
and
man,
yeah,
there's like
why
all
aren't
something.
they like disclosing their stock market transactions and being transparent with it?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Obvious.
for obvious
Like,
reasons.
yeah.
I mean, because they don't have to. That's really what it comes down to.
Mm, yeah,
And
like
yeah, that's a huge problem.
I
Hey, well,
just
and like you said, people do, which, well, they do, but it requires a lot of people to kind of come together consensus, right? Like, but the problem too is most people are apathetic. People don't know work or don't care, and so trying to get enough to sort of pay attention and want to affect change is really difficult. And also
Yeah.
because affecting change does potentially impact their own livelihoods if they're dependent on government stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a huge issue.
Uh, I can't remember what episode we discussed this in. It was a few weeks back. The idea of just establishing a second government
Mm-hmm.
within the country. It operates within the country, and it's actually just made up of the people,
Yeah.
and stands as a voice for the people, and would be able to like collectively at least offer some amount of resistance that would be threatening enough to the federal government to say like, hey, look, you got to play fair or there will be consequences, like,
Well, you could also, another aspect of that is that it could serve as an example
mhm.
to the people. Like, oh, hey, look at how this is operating compared to where current. Uh, well, which would you rather have? This one or the one you have now?
Yeah.
Like,
Except the US
and
federal government would absolutely sabotage the other government from doing well at all and run like smear campaigns and all kinds of shit. So,
yeah, yeah, which is why like a lot of people who have contemplated such things have thought about building like a floating city in international waters. So you're kind of outside
hmm,
the control of any government.
yeah, but
I mean,
we
it's not
should
exactly
we shouldn't
practical,
have to
but
move. They should have to move.
well, yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah.
like,
But
get
that is
out.
it. It is very difficult to achieve something like that because you're right. They would squelch anything, any
Hmm.
kind of dissent, any kind of alternative thinking, or actually when they don't mind when people talk about it, but when somebody actually does it and it starts getting traction, that's where the problems begin as far as the government's concerned. Because they're like, oh, we don't want people thinking like living this way and realizing, oh, hey, it's so much better this way. Because then they're going to lose faith because the whole system is held together on faith.
Yeah.
It's completely.
So we're having choppy issues on both ends, apparently. Um,
That's
Eric,
odd.
you still there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Okay.
here.
Okay. Um, so I just want to look at our settings real quick.
It's the
Uh,
dude. It's the government. They're trying to hack us. Look at
yeah,
they're
this
jamming this.
wouldn't be the first time that we've had
Dude,
technical difficulties while slamming the government.
they're jamming the signal, man. The globalists.
Okay, so the stream latency is set at normal.
Okay.
Should it maybe be ultra low?
I don't know what the impact of that would like. Does it mean I'm
Uh,
not sure what that setting actually does.
yeah, I can't even change it now that we're live, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on. I mean, because when we were recording the lightning strikes twice earlier, it was pretty normal. The
Yeah,
second
I
we
mean,
go live with this, it starts freaking out.
well, maybe this going forward won't be such a good uh idea.
Oh, yeah, I don't
There's a
know.
message that the current bit rate is 5,563 kilobits per second, higher than the recommended bit rate. Remec Recommend a stream bit rate of 2,500. Well, how do you, huh? There's nothing at all. There's no setting for bit rate. Ah, Jesus Christ.
Huh. Yeah, and I'm looking at this end and I don't see any settings.
Well, maybe we should just go offline, record this episode, and then just upload it without editing like we used to.
Yeah,
Just
yeah. We'll just
be lazy about it and
do that. Hey, whatever. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. That's really
sucks though.
strange.
Yeah.
It's annoying. And now I
Well,
just have to remember all the stuff that we talked about.
right, right. Well, sorry everybody. This is a technical nightmare. So
Yeah, they're jamming the signal. That's all it is.
yeah, yeah. The government doesn't like it when we talk sensibly about how they should be operating.
It has happened before. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
We like seriously, the second we start talking about certain things, it's like all of a sudden connection issues.
Well, remember that time we were talking about the Bernie blackout, and every time I said Bernie Sanders, you would hear Joe Biden over my.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. God. All right. So should we just stop streaming then and go offline?
Yeah, might
All
as
right.
well.
All right, everybody. Well, maybe it'll be better next time. We'll make another attempt.
This discussion will come out soon, though.
Yes, and this message will self-destruct. Oh yeah. Okay. Well, see y'all next time.